And we welcome for the first time onto the program, young man. He's 18 years old. He's just flown back in from Australia after success on the weekend back to Tauranga. Julian David, welcome to the show, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and congratulations. But this is just such brilliant news. So yourself and Sarah Tetzlaff won your respective events at the Oceania qualifying tournament in Melbourne, and that means at the moment you're penciled in right to go to Paris.
Yep, so I've officially qualified. I'm yet to be selected by the NZ Olympic Committee, but we'll see what happens with that in the next month or so, and fingers crossed we'll be straight through the Olympics.
Okay, so rather than hoops to jump through, what walls do you have to climb then with them to get them to ratify this?
Basically, it's just a process of ensuring that we are able to actually get somewhere, because obviously they're not going to send us if we have no chance of getting anywhere in the Olympics. So we just pretty much have to prove that we actually have a chance and have medal potential. And do you have a chance? Well, I think with the way that things are, with speed especially, there's always an opportunity. You never rule out anybody, especially in a competition with this high, like mental game and pressure. Anything can happen. Currently, I am like 5.8 seconds in competition, and those top guys, Leonardo Vedrick from Indonesia, he's got the world record currently at 4.9 seconds, but with these 6 months of training, I reckon I can cut down about half a second, and then I'm definitely in contention, yeah. Bloody 4.9, he's flying up the wall, mate. Yeah. You're aware it's like a 15-metre high wall, and it's all like a standardised route? Yep. 15 metres, I'm just visualising that at the moment. Okay, so 15 metres, so that's about what? That's about 4 or 5 stories, is that right? Yeah, that's right. It's pretty tall, eh? Yeah, man, and so... how do you get to practice on this? Do you get to get a wall at home or here in New Zealand where you can put the climbing things in exactly the same places and so forth? Yeah, so actually I'm quite lucky because my coach Rob, he actually built the wall back in 2019. It's based in Bay Oval by the cricket grounds there in Mount Maunganui, Tauranga. Yep. And that's where our wall is, only one in New Zealand. So pretty stoked that I had that, like literally 20 minutes away from where I am now. How much training and practice do you do a day, a week? When I'm in full swing, I train before school and after school, so like morning, afternoon, about an hour and a half a session, maybe 2 hours if it's a long one, almost every day of the week. So you're still at school? Well, just finished, but this season I was at school, yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do? Well, I mean, can you make a professional career out of this? I'd like to think so, yeah. I mean, obviously we have to see what happens to the Olympics, but I like the way that things are lining up. Obviously, uni is an option for me, and I'll definitely think about it. No guarantees with it yet, but we'll see. Is there a pro circuit anywhere in the world? Yeah, so the IFSC is the governing body of sport climbing, so that's the International Federation of Sport Climbing. They organise all of what we call World Cups. So it's kind of like Formula One in that sense. We have like 6 World Cups a year all over the world. Yep. And we compete in those for world rankings and see who's the best. Yep. You are the world youth champion, and you won that at Seoul in August. And so that's correct. Yeah, that's a hell of an achievement to start with. What is the difference between the youth climbers and, I don't know whether I can call them the adult climbers or all the rest of the climbers? Yeah. Yeah, the open category, that's just anybody over 16. I'd say, a couple of years ago I would have said, huge difference. But now, all the youngsters are coming through and they're actually doing really well. Like a lot of the people that I was versing, actually, we all tend to do quite well in the open category. So there's not a huge difference, eh? Like for me, the Oceania qualifier I just had, this competition in terms of like speed was easier for me to win, but it was harder in terms of pressure. Like that competition in Seoul was, it was harder for me to win that one. Where does the pressure come from? It's when you're going this fast up a 15-meter wall, the margin of error becomes so small, and to think that, one slip and you're gone, anything can happen. And when there's Olympics, especially on the line, it can really get to your head. Can I ask you a dumb question, mate? Julian, have you ever fallen off, and how fearful is that? I have fallen off, yeah. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes if you make a huge mistake, I'd say slips happen more often, which can be just as detrimental, but obviously you get to keep climbing.
Yeah. You roped on, though? You
the,
actually roped on? Like you...
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
right.
we have an auto belay that it pulls up like 6 meters a second. So
yeah, it's not what they call that. What's that free climbing that they do up the
free soloing? Yeah, no, it's not that.
I've watched some. I mean, I think everyone has watched the Netflix on that. Man, that guy that does that is just outrageous, isn't he?
Yeah, Alex Arnold. Yeah, he's a different breed.
He's a different breed, all right. So, how did you get? This is Julian David with us, people, and he is qualified for the Paris Olympics next year, alongside Sarah Tetzlaff. And good God, my fingers crossed. I hope that the NZOC has sense enough to say yes, you got to go to this. What got you into this sport?
Sorry, what was that?
What got you into the sport? Why did you choose this?
So climbing in general, it all started when I was a young lad at Tauranga Intermediate. I fell out of a tree. The teacher was like, "What are you doing? We have a wall, go climb it." So I decided to climb the wall instead, and then I entered Ames Games and ended up coming third. And I was like, "Oh,
great story!
I'm actually quite good at this. I may as well actually train it." So then I did, and that's where I met Rob at Rocktopia.
Yep.
I just decided to train it, met him, came under his wing, and he started coaching me. Obviously, he built the wall back in 2019, just when it got introduced to the Olympics. So basically, since then, I was training it, kind of for fun. And then back when I just turned 16, and I decided I wanted to do it seriously, and these past 2 years I've just been really training for the Olympic spot, and to finally have it's like a dream come true.
What do you have to be good at? Because look, I'm just looking at your photo here, and you're not obviously huge, but at the same time you're obviously very muscly and you're very lithe. So does it help if you're kind of a little bit skinnier? Does that help?
Yeah, so like all of the world record holders that have been in the past, they've all mainly been Indonesians or like Chinese, and all these guys, they're all like actually kind of short compared to me. I mean, I'm 5'9", 175 centimeters. Like I'm not huge, but compared to them, when I go to the World Cup circuit, I'm like kind of tall compared to everyone else. And they're all around the same build. Maybe some of them are a bit bigger, but a lot of the quick guys, they're around my build, maybe a little bit bigger.
Where does the sport take you in the end? So after the speed stuff, what else do you want to do? Do you start thinking, good, I'd like to climb the Eiffel Tower. I'd like to, so where does it go next?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Olympics is the pinnacle for pretty much every sport, and especially in climbing since it's so new. I've tried the other disciplines of climbing, bouldering and lead, and I still like them, but I have much more potential, obviously, in the speed, so I'm just going to stick to that. Yeah.
Oh, man. Look, I've been to a couple of Olympics myself just to report on them. It is just the most eye-opening and mind-blowing thing you will do in your life, man. I can tell you arrive there. Look, there's 200 and something countries from all around the world. You can imagine every colour and person and flavour and from the rainbow. It's just beautiful, man. And then you get to see that Olympic flame, and it takes your breath away, because you kind of realise that you're in the middle of humanity. I hope I'm explaining this okay.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I mean, I'm very young as well. I mean, I turn 19 start of next year, so heading into that competition, if I do get selected by NZOC, I'll be a 19-year-old young lad from New Zealand competing at speed climbing. It's quite incredible, eh?
Man, born in 2005. You got a whole life ahead of you. I bet your parents are absolutely thrilled with you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially with everything they've been doing, I mean, the money's got to come from somewhere, right? So
of course.
They supported me throughout the year, and it's been, without them, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today. So I'm very grateful to them.
Well, congratulations on your achievements so far. World champion, and then, winning the Oceania champs against the Aussies. That's awesome, mate. And let's hope you get to go to the Olympics next year, and we'll cheer you on in the black singlet there. Standing there representing New Zealand. What a buzz that will be, eh?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I can't wait, eh? Yeah. So stoked.
Brilliant. And you come across really well, mate. I don't know how many interviews you've done, but you come across brilliantly. So
thank you.
Stay in touch, and we'll stay in touch. Really nice to meet you, Julian. Brilliant.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Likewise.
Awesome. Thank you so much, mate. That's young, and he is young. Julian David. He's only 18. As he said, he's 19 next year. And a brand new sport climbing or speed climbing. And a young man who is just overachieving, as is Sarah, obviously, as well.